Ares is a god of bloody war, as he was a deity highly worshipped by the Spartans. Many believe that Ares is one of the most powerful gods of Olympus. However, he is actually one of the weakest, if not the weakest of them all. In fact, from time to time, he runs away from battle. And in this video, I'm going to prove to you that Ares is one of the most pathetic gods in Greek mythology. If you're new here, please subscribe and like, as it really motivates me to continue making videos. If you can help me out even more, use the thanks button down below, the one shaped like a little heart, and you can donate anything you want with it. Become a channel member for early access to videos and the channel's Discord. Several stories in Greek mythology show that Ares isn't very powerful. Actually, the mythology itself shows this when there's Athena, who is also a goddess of war. Zeus was aware of Ares's weaknesses. The first story I'm going to use here is quite famous and involves Ares and Aphrodite cheating on Hephaestus. The first part is about Hephaestus getting revenge on Hera for having been thrown from Olympus. He sends a golden throne there, and when Hera sits on it, she ends up getting stuck. And Zeus asks the other gods for help, and whoever could save Hera would be rewarded with Aphrodite's hand in marriage. Aphrodite was very happy because in her mind, Ares would easily defeat Hephaestus, and the two of them could be together. Ares then took his spear and his armor and set out for Hephaestus's forge. He kicked the door, but didn't even get inside properly. He took a spark of fire to the face and ran away. The situation was only resolved when Dionysus gave Hephaestus a drink and said that if he freed Hera, he could have Aphrodite. Hephaestus listened and resolved the situation. Dionysus joined Olympus for solving the problem. Well, it's no surprise to anyone that Aphrodite didn't like being married to Hephaestus at all. So she was always cheating on him with Ares in Hephaestus's own house. But one day, Helios ended up seeing the two of them and ran to tell Hephaestus. And of course, he was furious, but he came up with a plan. He made a net or a chain and put it on his bed and waited for the two of them. Of course, this story isn't just a humiliation for Ares, but also for Aphrodite, and even more so for Hephaestus, right? But with Ares having a mother who is the goddess of marriage, that's pretty serious. As soon as Hephaestus left the house, Ares saw him leaving and immediately ran to see Aphrodite. The two of them didn't think much and went straight to the bedroom, but when they lay down, they were caught by the trap. And Hephaestus came back and saw his wife lying with Ares, tangled up in the net, unable to even move properly. Immediately, he shouted for the other gods to come, and they showed up. Many of them started laughing as they saw Ares and Aphrodite completely embarrassed. But Poseidon told Hephaestus to let Ares go, because he would make sure that Ares would keep his debt to Hephaestus. And so it was done. And after being released, the two went their separate ways and stayed away from Olympus for a while. The third story is about a battle that took place between Heracles and Ares, and by no means did this battle end well for the god of war. But once, a son of Ares named Cycno was attacking some travelers, so Heracles was sent to deal with him. He succeeded without much difficulty. But Ares didn't like it at all and came down to confront his half-brother. Ares was injured in the thigh and fled. Hercules commented on this battle. "Even before now, I declare. He once experienced my spear. At that time when above sandy Pylos he rose against me, furious, in battle rage, and 3 times over the protection of my spear on his shield, he was struck down. The 4th time, I thrust with all my anger into his thigh and made a great hole in his body. And headfirst in the dust he fell then upon my spear. And there he could have fallen into disgrace among the gods if he had fallen by my hands and left the bloody spoils. For me." The 4th story is actually quite pathetic. 2 giants approached Olympus, attacked Ares, and trapped him in a cauldron. Yes, Ares was trapped in a cauldron. But I'll let the gods tell you this story. Many of us who have our homes on Olympus endure things from men when we ourselves inflict harsh pain on each other. Ares had to endure when the strong Ephialtes and other sons of Aloeus chained him in bonds that were too strong for him. For 3 months or 10, he lay there, chained in the bronze cauldron. Areboia, his stepmother, the extraordinarily lovely one, brought news to Hermes, who stole Ares from there when he was already getting very weak and the harsh slavery was breaking him. I think this story's the funniest of all. During the Trojan War, Ares was on the side of the Trojans, and during the battle he ends up encountering Diomedes and goes after him. But actually, all of this was part of a strategy by Athena, and Ares ends up getting beaten by Athena and Diomedes and flees to Olympus. Upon arrival, he sits beside Zeus and laments that Diomedes had the gall to assault a deity. And Zeus responds to him as follows. Then, looking at him darkly, Zeus, who gathers the clouds, said to him, "Do not sit by my side and complain, you double-faced liar. To me, you are the most hateful of all the gods who rule Olympus. Eternal quarrels are dear to your heart, wars and battles. Indeed, your mother Hera's anger is unrestrained and unyielding. And no matter how hard I try, I am broken by arguments. And it's because of her impulse. I think you are suffering all of this. However, I couldn't bear to see you suffering for too long, since you are my son, and it was for me that your mother gave birth to you. But if you had been born from some other god and had shown yourself to be so ruinous long ago, you would have fallen upon the gods of bright heaven." So it doesn't look too bad for Ares, and people don't say, I'm just speaking badly about him here. I'll mention one of his victories, actually. One of the few, right? The story tells of him defending his daughter, who was attacked by Alerhotius, a son of Poseidon. The name is difficult to pronounce. When Ares found out, he went after him and killed the guy. However, he ended up being judged by Olympus or some other kind of jury, but anyway, it's a really cool story about him. Ares would have disturbed the harmony of Olympus when he was accused of killing one of Poseidon's sons, Alerodius, near a stream below the Athenian Acropolis. So, a kind of special court was created to evaluate the case, which became known as the Areopagus, and it was set up near the stream to judge the event. Fortunately, Ares was declared innocent when they discovered that Poseidon's son had attacked Ares' daughter, Alcippe. The place, however, ended up being kept and used for trials involving human cases, such as murder and impiety. There's one more story that would be one of his victories. Is that okay? I'll mention it here, because otherwise I'll end up talking about it in the comments since I almost forgot. I never found the source for this story, so I don't know if it actually exists. Just be aware of that. If anyone knows the source, please comment. According to this story, the Titan Kratos, I'm emphasizing Titan Kratos here, not the Kratos from the game, that's something else entirely, and he would have been chosen by Zeus to be the replacement for Ares. In the event that the god of war died, vanished, or if Zeus finally got his act together, or a similar occurrence. So Ares, out of fear of losing his position, imprisoned Kratos there in Tartarus. But just to remind you, I don't know the official source of this story. Well, that's the video. Hope you liked it. Remember to rate the video by liking or disliking, subscribing to the channel, and suggesting a topic for the next video in the comments. Thanks. Subtitles by Adriana Zanato.